grab a towel, Mike. We're headed to Finland.
Well, I think gonna need something warmer, jacket, hat, that kind of stuff.
Not this time, because today we're talking about the World Sauna Championships, held from 1999 to 2010.
Unless there's like a time machine involved today, I guess I can just stay home.
I bought a DeLorean with my tax return money.
Fantastic. Let's get going, baby.
I wish I could. I'd love a DeLorean. They're not good cars, but I love the way they look.
Is there an episode about DeLoreans possible in our future?
We should do it. It's that whole story and like the drugs and the government. Anyways,
well,
okay.
Before we break into that,
okay,
we should actually go back to talking a little bit about saunas.
Sounds steamy.
It sure is. Somewhat unsurprisingly, given today's topic and location, the oldest saunas in the world have been discovered in Finland. They're small rooms or buildings designed for people to experience either dry or wet heat, although there is evidence that early examples were often pits dug into the sides of hills.
These early examples featured a fireplace that would be used to heat stones to a very high temperature. Water would then be poured or sprayed onto these stones to create steam. Today, some saunas still use this primitive method. You know, the hipster saunas, you can still do that. But others utilize technology, like burning wood or using electric stoves. And they're now found all over the world. In fact, my last job I had before Relay FM, in the basement of the office building, there was a gym, and the gym had a sauna. It was always locked. I don't think anyone ever went in there.
I do think it's worth highlighting that you considered heating stones to be like old and archaic, but burning wood technology. The technology of wood burning. The temperatures created in these rooms can reach over 100 degrees Celsius or 212 degrees Fahrenheit, which would be uncomfortable or even fatal. But by keeping the humidity low, the ambient air temperature is kept within a safer range.
We will come back to that in a minute.
Foreshadowing. People will claim all sorts of health benefits when it comes to saunas. As in all things, some of these claims are true. Some are a bit embellished, we'll say. However, there is evidence that exposure to sauna reduces the risks of sudden cardiac death, can reduce blood pressure, the risk of strokes, and a ton more.
And there was, for a decade or so, the annual endurance contest, which we're going to get into after the sponsor break. This episode of Ungeniused is brought to you by Fitbod. Getting fitter is one of those things that often has knock-on effects in other areas of your life, like having more energy and sleeping better. But it can be hard to know where to start. And that's why we love Fitbod, and why it is an easy and affordable way to build a fitness plan that's just for you. Because Fitbod has these algorithms built in that learn about you, your goals, and your training ability. And that creates a custom dynamic program based on your experience and any equipment you have. So it keeps up with not only the equipment you have, but like what muscle groups you've worked out. So it keeps track of recovery. If you're traveling and maybe you don't have access to your regular gym, you just want to do body weight exercises, you just tell the app, body weight today, and it reconfigures your workout for you all automatically. Personal fitness is not about competing with other people. You don't want to look to others and try to do what they do. What you need is something that works for you, and that's when it sticks. Everyone's fitness path is different, which is why Fitbod uses data to make sure they customize things exactly to suit you. It understands your strength training ability, studies your past workouts, and adapts to your available gym equipment. And your training plan will maximize fitness gains intelligently by varying intensity and volume between sessions. And like I said, it tracks things like muscle fatigue and recovery, so you're getting a well-balanced workout routine. The Fitbod app is really simple to use. There's over 1,400 HD video tutorials. These are shot from multiple angles, so it's really easy to understand what an exercise is supposed to look like. And of course, it integrates with the Apple Watch, Wear OS smartwatches, and apps like Strava, Fitbit, and Apple Health. Mike, both you and I are loyal Fitbod users. Tell me a little bit about your time with it.
I mean, you mentioned my favorite thing already, which is the videos. Like, the videos are so good. They're so well shot. And I like that they're shot from those multiple angles, so it makes a lot of sense for how to actually perform each exercise. So I get the confidence that I need to do them.
Personalized training of this quality can be expensive, but Fitbod is just $12.99 a month or $79.99 a year. You can get 25% off your membership by signing up on the web at fitbod.me/ungeniused. That's Fitbod, BOD, fitbod.me/ungeniused, and you'll get 25% off your membership. Our thanks to Fitbod for their support of the show and Relay FM.
Let's talk about the World Sauna Championships, which eventually saw contestants from more than 20 countries. Each participant had to sign paperwork saying they would not sue the organizers if something went wrong.
That's how you know you're in for a good time when the waivers come out. This is because extremely hot saunas or spending too much time in them can be quite dangerous. I think it's important to note here that the Finnish Sauna Society strongly opposed the event when it was happening.
This is the key indicator here. This should have been a huge red flag, right? Like, please don't do this. No, but we want to. We're really asking that you don't.
Yeah, it's that's a real sign that what you're doing is probably not well considered.
All right, let's go over some of the rules of the competition. The starting temperature is 110 degrees Celsius. Half a liter of water will be poured on the stove every 30 seconds.
That's pretty hot.
It is. As such, competitors' clothing and even posture were tightly controlled by the rules as well. Everyone had to wash themselves beforehand, remove any lotions, and they had to sit upright with their thighs and posteriors on the bench.
Swimsuits were worn with specific measurements allowed. Hair had to be worn in a ponytail if longer than shoulder length. And all participants had to give a thumbs up sign, the universal sign for I'm not dead, if requested by the judges, to show they were still fully in control of body and mind.
And thumb. If a participant was unable to leave the sauna on their own accord and without aid, they were disqualified. The winner was the person who lasted the longest in the sauna.
The event started small, but like you said, it really grew over time. The popularity really peaked after a documentary about it aired in Japan in 2004.
So we fast forward to 2010, where things, as you can imagine, went horribly wrong. On August 7th, Russian finalist and former third-place winner Vladimir Ladizensky and Finnish five-time champion Timo Kaukonen passed out after 6 minutes of 110 degrees Celsius, which is 230 degrees Fahrenheit, heat.
They both had serious burns. Vladimir had to be dragged out of the sauna. He died despite first responders administering CPR. Kaukonen was rushed to the hospital after being helped out of the sauna.
Before the fateful round, Kaukonen had told the press that the saunas in use at the event were more extreme than in previous years. And as neither man was unable to leave the sauna unassisted, neither won, which really kind of seems harsh.
Hey, without rules, we're just animals, you know? We're a society here, Mike.
I guess so.
But it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Organizers announced that the 2010 event was probably going to be the final championship. They weren't ready to commit to that, even with a injury and a death. Government officials launched an investigation in the meantime.
Meanwhile, Ladizensky showed that he died of third-degree burns, and evidence of strong painkillers and local anesthetics were found in his system and on his skin, the latter of which against the rules.
Yeah, so he was using these medications to last longer in the sauna, right? If you can't feel the pain, you can last longer, and clearly a tragic mistake. Kaukonen, on the other hand, was found to have been playing within the rules, and after 6 weeks in a medically induced coma, was woken up. He had burns on over 70% of his body, as well as in his windpipe and lungs, with a side of kidney failure.
Jeez.
However, he did not blame the event or its organizers for the accident. Thankfully, he made a full recovery and eventually wrote a book about the event and accident.
I mean, he should have blamed the event. Like, this didn't happen without the event, right?
You didn't just wander into a sauna competition, right? Like,
well, it's just like, oh, this is completely unrelated. This is horrible. I had no idea that saunas could burn you. It just never really made sense, but I guess...
It's terrible.
The wood, maybe, that you're sitting on, I guess?
Yeah, and clearly these were cranked hotter and you're in there longer than normal use. This is extreme.
Horrible thing. In 2011, it was made official that the event was thankfully done.
Yes.
This is for the best.
No one resurrect this.
That's super bad. No, nobody do it.
Our thanks to Kozo for sending this in. If you want to read more about saunas in general or the World Sauna Championships in particular, there's some links in your podcast player. They're also on the web at relay.fm/ungenius/184. While you're there, there's a link to submit feedback. Send us your favorite weird Wikipedia topic. It'll go on the list for a future episode. And if you enjoy the show, we'd love a review. Leave us a fun review. Those are good to read. And Mike, until next time we steam out our pores, say goodbye.
Cheerio.
Bye, y'all.